it's teacher Meredith. I wanted to sit down with you today and talk about how I have officially gone full-time teaching online. So to start off, I'm going to tell you guys about how I got into online teaching and why I decided to make it my full-time job. So 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, I graduated from college. I got a degree in special education and elementary education. And all I've ever wanted to do with my life was be a special ed teacher. That was it. I've never wanted to do anything else. I've never thought about doing anything else. I wanted to teach special education. So I graduated. I got a job. I started teaching, and I hated my job. I never wanted to go to work. It was really affecting my mental health in a very negative way, and I realized I couldn't do it anymore. So I quit my job, and around that same time, my boyfriend and I moved in together. And he said, you know what, Meredith, take some time, get healthy, figure out what you want to do with your life, and we'll make it work. And that's what we did. I took a couple months off, and then I got bored relatively quickly because I was not doing anything. So I went and I got a job in retail. I started out working about 25 to 30 hours a week at my retail job. And shortly after I started working there, my boyfriend's mom called me up one day and she said, hey, I found out about this really cool online teaching job. You should look into it. I think you'd do a really great job. And I did, and I applied that same day. And I, was hired within the next 2 weeks. And it took me about 2 months to start getting some bookings. I started with VIPkid. And once I really started teaching, I realized this was it. This is the teaching that I've always wanted to do. And I always tell people when I tell them about my job teaching online, I always say I love online teaching because it has all the things I love about teaching with none of the things I hate about teaching. What more could you ask for? And so I started working with VIPkid, and I knew I wanted to go full time, but I also acknowledged that would take time. And so I slowly started to build my schedule. And now, about a year later, I can happily say that I am working between 35 and 40 hours a week, full time, teaching online. And I couldn't ask for anything more. I've never been happier with my decision for a job. So I'm going to tell you guys what my schedule looks like, how I manage this crazy hours that we teach, and also how much money I'm making. I've done many different schedules, different hours, and I finally figured out what works really well for me. 6 days a week, I teach 6 hours. I wake up at 1:30, I start teaching at 2, and I teach 12 classes straight until 8 o'clock in the morning, which is exhausting, but I can do it, and I feel like I end my last class with good enthusiasm. I don't think I could do more than 12 in a row. It's really nice to have those 5-minute breaks in between classes. I don't write my feedback in between classes, so I do have those 5 minutes to do what I gotta do. So I teach 6 days a week, 6 hours, so that's 36 hours. And if that's all I get in that week, I'm 100% happy with that. Depending on what I have going on, I occasionally will teach Friday night, or I will teach on Sunday morning and try to get in 4 more hours to hit that 40 hours a week. I would say that my schedule is 99% booked of what I open. I only open between 36 and 40 hours a week. So the question I'm sure everyone has been waiting for is, how much money do I make? So I work for 2 different companies, VIPkid and Gogokid. I used to work for Magic Years. I recently just let my contract expire. It wasn't working. I didn't fit there. And I'm very happy with VIPkid and Gogokid. And I make different at both of those 2 companies. I make a little more with Gogokid, so I do try to open the majority of my slots with Gogokid. I do have some regulars at VIPkid that I love, and I accept priority bookings depending on the time. I try to save the peak time slots for Gogokid. And I have also found that the early morning, the 2, 2:30, 3, book faster and better with VIPkid. It's more reliable. So I try to open those with VIPkid too. I also really like teaching for 2 companies because I do like the variety of lessons. I feel like it helps when I'm teaching 12 classes in a row to switch halfway through from one company to the other. It just changes it up a little bit. I'm not so bored teaching the same thing over and over again. So I make anywhere between $800 and $900 a week, which blows my mind. So that ends up being between $3,000 and $4,000 a month. Depending. Obviously, sometimes it's higher if I have a trial conversion or if a referral goes through. Sometimes it's lower if I took a couple days off, but it's more than I could ever ask for. It's honestly more than I was making as a classroom teacher, and I'm so much happier. So at the end of the day, it's not about the money, but the money's always nice. So yeah, that is what I do and how I work full time. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or shoot me an email or a Facebook message. All that information will be down in the description below. If you're interested in applying for Gogokid or VIPkid, I would love to be your mentor. I'll help you through the application process, anything you need. Feel free to shoot me an email, message me on Facebook. Both of my referral links are in the description below. Just let me know if you need anything. Happy teaching!